in the small, secluded village of Ravenswood, nestled deep within the shadowy embrace of an ancient forest. A sinister secret whispered through the chilling winds. For generations, the townsfolk had lived in fear of the cursed night, a night when the moon cast its malevolent glow upon the land, awakening an unspeakable horror that lurked in the hearts of the cursed. Legend spoke of vile werewolves that prowled the moonlit woods, creatures neither man nor beast, but a monstrous amalgamation of both. These savage beings, it was said, were once ordinary villagers who succumbed to an insidious curse, transforming under the ominous radiance of the full moon. Whispers of their nocturnal activities sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to speak of them, and tales of gruesome encounters haunted the villagers' dreams. Ravenswood was a village besieged by shadows, with the eerie forest serving as both protector and prison. Its gnarled branches seemed to writhe like serpents in the moonlight, casting twisted silhouettes upon the village outskirts. As the cursed nights approached, the air thickened with an oppressive tension, and the villagers locked themselves indoors, barricading windows and doors, praying that the vile creatures would not find their way into their homes. For years, the villagers had managed to maintain a delicate balance with the creatures of the night. They offered meager sacrifices to appease the werewolves, hoping the beasts would satiate their bloodlust without venturing into the village. The elders, with furrowed brows and haunted eyes, warned the younger generation of the consequences of straying too far from the safety of their homes during the cursed nights. One fateful evening, as the moon cast its pale glow over the land, a group of adventurous youths dared to defy the elders' warnings. Drawn by the allure of the forbidden, they ventured into the heart of the ancient forest, oblivious to the malevolent forces that lurked within. The forest seemed to close in around them, the twisted trees whispering secrets of ancient curses and dark rituals. As the group delved deeper, an unnatural stillness settled over the woods. The air grew colder, and the rustling leaves beneath their feet seemed to hush, as if the very forest held its breath. Unbeknownst to the youths, they had trespassed into the forbidden territory, the sacred grounds where the werewolves held their unholy rites. The moon hung low in the sky, casting an ethereal glow upon the clearing ahead. It was there that the youth stumbled upon a ghastly sight, a gathering of werewolves, their fur as black as the abyss, their eyes gleaming with an otherworldly malevolence. A guttural chant echoed through the air as the creatures performed an ancient ritual, their grotesque forms swaying to an unseen rhythm. Frozen in terror, the youths watched as the werewolves' ritual reached its climax. In an eruption of dark energy, the very fabric of reality seemed to waver, and the youths realized with a sinking dread that they were witnesses to a sinister transformation. The werewolves, once grotesque hybrids, now took on more human forms, their eyes filled with malevolent intelligence. The leader of the werewolves, a towering figure with fur as dark as the void, fixed its gaze upon the intruders. The air crackled with an electric tension as the youth stood paralyzed, unable to escape the clutches of the cursed beings. The leader spoke, its voice a guttural growl that sent shivers down their spines. "Foolish mortals," it snarled, its words carrying the weight of centuries. "You have trespassed into sacred grounds, and now you shall bear witness to the consequences." The youths were powerless as the werewolves, with supernatural speed and strength, closed in on them. The forest seemed to come alive with the anguished cries of the captured, the shadows dancing in macabre celebration. The leader, eyes ablaze with a malevolent fire, raised its clawed hand, ready to unleash a curse upon the intruders. Just as the dark magic was about to be unleashed, a piercing howl echoed through the forest, causing the werewolves to halt in their tracks. The leader's eyes narrowed in irritation as a figure emerged from the shadows, a lone wolf, its fur silver-white and eyes filled with an ancient wisdom. The mysterious wolf circled the clearing, its gaze locking with each werewolf in turn. A silent communication passed between them, and the leader, begrudgingly, nodded in acknowledgement. With a flick of its tail, the silver-white wolf turned to the youths, its eyes softening with an unspoken warning. "Flee," it seemed to say, the word echoing in their minds. "Flee before the curse claims you too." The youths, released from their paralysis, stumbled backward, their eyes wide with terror. The silver-white wolf led them out of the cursed clearing, its presence a protective barrier against the malevolent forces that sought to ensnare them. As they reached the edge of the forest, the wolf turned once more, its gaze lingering on the youths. The leader of the werewolves stepped forward, a snarl on its lips. But the silver-white wolf met its gaze with an intensity that spoke of ancient alliances and forgotten pacts. With a final warning growl, the leader backed away, and the youths fled from the haunted woods, their hearts pounding with a mixture of fear and awe. The village of Ravenswood, unaware of the unfolding events in the heart of the forest, remained cloaked in darkness. The cursed night continued, and the air hummed with an eerie energy. Unbeknownst to the villagers, the ancient pact between the silver-white wolf and the werewolves held the fragile balance intact. But for how long, none could say. As the youth stumbled back into the safety of their homes, the silver-white wolf disappeared into the shadows, leaving behind a lingering sense of mystery and unease. The elders, sensing a disturbance in the delicate equilibrium that had sustained the village for generations, gathered in solemn council. The ancient forest, with its gnarled trees and haunted whispers, held secrets that threatened to unravel the tenuous peace between the villagers and the werewolves. The silver-white wolf, a guardian of forgotten pacts, had intervened on that fateful night. But the true nature of its motives remained shrouded in mystery. As the cursed night waned and the moon dipped below the horizon, Ravenswood awaited the dawn with bated breath. The ominous forest, with its hidden horrors and ancient alliances, held the key to the village's fate. Unseen forces moved in the shadows, and the villagers, unaware of the looming darkness, clung to the hope that the morning light would bring solace and dispel the lingering nightmares that haunted their troubled sleep. Little did they know that the silver-white wolf had set into motion a chain of events that would test the very fabric of their existence. The forest, with its malevolent secrets and cursed creatures, held the key to a destiny that intertwined the fates of mortals and monsters. The tale of Ravenswood, caught between the haunting embrace of the ancient woods and the cursed night, was far from over, and the villagers were mere pawns in a game that spanned centuries. As the first light of dawn bathed the village in a hesitant glow, the ominous shadows retreated, and the whispers of the forest seemed to fade. But in the depths of Ravenswood, a lingering unease settled like a shroud, a harbinger of the challenges yet to come. The tale of the vile werewolves and the enigmatic silver-white wolf had only just begun, and the village stood on the precipice of a darkness that threatened to consume them all. In the days that followed, the villagers went about their lives with a newfound wariness, haunted by the memory of that fateful night. The elders, their faces etched with concern, convened in hushed tones, contemplating the implications of the ancient pact and the mysterious intervention of the silver-white wolf. The forest, once a source of both fear and fascination, now loomed with an even greater sense of foreboding. Unseen eyes watched from the shadows, and the air crackled with an eerie energy. Whispers of a looming reckoning spread through the village like wildfire, and a palpable tension hung in the air. As the villagers prepared for the next cursed night, a dark cloud descended upon Ravenswood. Unbeknownst to them, ancient forces stirred in the depths of the forest, and the silver-white wolf, a silent guardian with motives unknown, continued to tread the thin line between ally and adversary. The tale of Ravenswood had become a tapestry of shadows and secrets, and with each passing night, the threads of fate intertwined ever more. The village, caught in the web of ancient pacts and supernatural intrigues, faced a future fraught with uncertainty. Little did they know that the vile werewolves and the enigmatic silver-white wolf were but players in a cosmic drama that spanned realms beyond mortal comprehension. The moon, a silent witness to the unfolding events, cast its indifferent gaze upon the village, and the ancient forest held its secrets close, biding its time for the next act in the macabre play that unfolded under the watchful eyes of the night.